Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Sumukascha Ekadantascha Kapilo Gajakarnakaha Lambodharascha Vikato Vignarajo Vinayakaha Dhumaketur Ganadhyakshaha Palachandro Gajananaha Vakratundaha Surpakarno Herambaha Skandapurvajaha Shuklam Baradharam Vishnum Sasivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasanna Dhyayet Sarva Vignopasantaye Yasya Dvaradavakradhya Parishadhya Parastatam Vignam Nignanti Satatam Vishvaksenam Tamastraye Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Gurur Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langhayate Girim Yatkripatamaham Bande Paramananda Madhavam Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutaha Tunvanti Divyaistavaihi Vedaihi Sankapada Kramopanishadaihi Gayanti Yam Samagaha Dhyana Vastita Tadgatena Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yogino Yasyantam Naviduhu Surasara Ganaha Devaya Tasmai Namaha Janmadhyasya Yataha Anvayat Itarasascha Artheshu Abhignah Sparat Tene Brahma Hida Yaha Adikavaye Mukhyanti Yat Surayah Tejovari Mrudam Yatha Vinimayo Yat Tritr Sargo Mrisha Dhamna Svena Sada Nirasta Kuhakam Satyam Param Dhimahi Dharmaha Prochida Kaitavotra Paramo Nirmat Saranam Tatam Vedhyam Vastavam Atra Vastu Sivadam Tapatrayon Molanam Srimad Bhagavate Mahamunikrute Kimva Parairisvaraha Sadhyo Hridi Avarudhyatehe Atra Krutibihi Susrushubihi Takshanat Nigama Kalpataror Galitam Phalam Sukamakat Amrita Dravasam Yutam Pibata Bhagavatam Rasamalayam Muhuraho Rasikaha Bhuvi Bhavukaha Vasudeva Para Veda Vasudeva Para Makhaha Vasudeva Para Yoga Vasudeva Para Kriyaha Vasudeva Param Jnanam Vasudeva Param Tapaha Vasudeva Paro Dharmo Vasudeva Paragatihi Narayanam Namaskritya Naranchaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet. Now with Bhagavan's grace we will continue from where we left off yesterday. We came up to Slokam number 7, Adhyayam 66 and 7, Adhyayam 17, Skandham number 4. Message is, the meaning is very clear. We can listen to Bhagavatam just as a story and move on, which is good, sweet by itself, nothing wrong in that. But here and there, we can also kind of wade into the sweetness a little bit. And then with Bhagavan's grace, some places we will slightly dive into it also a little bit deeper. But 6 and 7 looks like the slokams are there, a very important teaching, extremely important teaching. So I thought I'll share just to wade a little bit into it. The important word that you all would have noticed is Vaktum Arhasi. Vaktum Arhasi. If I deserve to be spoken about, to be shared, to be spoken to, okay, to be talked with, to be explained to be described to. If I deserve, Vaktum Arhasi. Non கேட்பவதற்கு நான் Vaktum is to speak and to explain. So இதை பற்றி பேசப்படுவதற்கு நான் தகுதி உள்ளவன் ஆனால். Okay, very important. Arhasi is a very important word. Bhagavad Gita also, but it comes several times, especially before Viswarupa Darsanam. Arjuna asks him, okay, if I am qualified, if I deserve, Bhagavan is willing to give us Amritam itself, but am I ready to receive it? So the important thing is, for a student, he can get the knowledge only that he is ready to receive. At a kindergarten level, we cannot teach him a PhD level knowledge, right? So if I deserve to be explained to, Vaktum Arhasi. Now, why why this occurred to me with Bhagavan's case to share with you? Because here lies the gateway to knowledge, the door to knowledge. Vidya Vinaya Sampannena. Vinayam is extremely essential to get any knowledge. If you're learning a programming language to get a paycheck, then you have Vinayam and you go and learn that language in humility, in humbleness, and you're open to receive that, isn't it? Say anything, any knowledge. It may be even a cooking recipe that you might have, or learn to play a musical instrument, whatever it may be. Unless you're open to receive that knowledge, the knowledge will bypass you. In spiritual matters, when we have been blessed to listen to the most nectarine scripture there is in among all our scriptures, in Vedam included, Nigama Kalpataror Galitam, please remember that. If there is only one book that I can read, if there is only one story that I listen to, if there is only one katha that I listen to in my life, that is Bhagavatam. Because this is the pinnacle, the crown jewel of all our scriptures. Everything else comes secondary to this. Because if I listen to Bhagavatam with the right attitude, the one of Vinayam, Arhasi, that see how humbly he asked, how humbly, okay? That humbleness, that humility, Vinayam must come, then I taste the sweetness of Bhagavan himself directly, okay? That Isvaraha, Sadhyaha Hridi, Avarudatehe, Atra, Krutibihi, Susrushbihi, Takshanat, that's what it means. So, important lesson to take from here is Vinayam. Vinayam, I cannot overemphasize it. Okay? Because we all have our level of ego, isn't it? At different forms. It is not like I'm coming here because 8 to 8:30 I have to attend. No, Bhagavan is blessed us. That's why the inspiration comes. I must be respectful of that knowledge that I'm receiving. Okay, very important. That Vinayam, bending mind and body and attitude. This is the most essential gateway to receive the sunshine of knowledge. The second thing I want to point you to, Tava Adokshadasya Bhaktaya Anuraktaya. Please look into the slokam. It is slokam 7. Okay, Tava Adokshadasya Bhaktaya Anuraktaya. Tava Bhaktaya, Tava Anuraktaya, Adokshadasya Bhaktaya, Adokshadasya Anuraktaya. Okay, let us dwell in that for a few minutes because we will benefit. Both you and I will benefit. Tava Bhaktaya, Tava Anuraktaya. When a teacher teaches something, not because the teacher is qualified to teach the subject, but Bhagavan teaches through that form of a teacher. It could be a small child, okay, teaching me how to live, for example, okay, and the role that Bhagavan gives at any point in time, that role is being played by Bhagavan himself. I must allow him to do that. In this case, it so happens, I happen to be reading the slokas well and sharing whatever Bhagavan wants me to share. I'm not be an interference or an obstruction to Bhagavan speaking. This is all my prayer to him is, because I'm definitely not qualified to talk about Bhagavatam or to talk about Sanskritam or anything like that. But Bhagavan has put me in that role, so he will take care. So that role of a teacher, whoever it may be, Kava, in this case, Maitreya is a teacher, is a narrator. So he says, Kava, your Bhaktaya, I am devoted to you, devoted to you. The approach to the teacher must be one of love and respect and reverence, because only then the knowledge will descend on me. Otherwise, it will bypass me. For my benefit, I must do that. Kava Bhaktaya Anuraktaya. Okay, that is how Vidura approaches Maitreya. Please, there are two lessons here. One, humility. The second is the attitude with which I approach the teacher. We tend to say, we tend to qualify, comment on whether the teacher is good or not, whether the teacher is too scholarly, is going above, is boring. All these are all the wrong attitude, because the knowledge is there. It's my duty to refine my attitude to receive the knowledge that's coming from all directions. The even teacher may not be qualified, but I have to take the right approach. So that is another thing we have to learn in Bhagavatam. Vinayam and the right approach to listening. Doesn't matter who's speaking. And the third, how will all this come? These two qualifications. Adokshajasya bhaktaya anuraktaya. Adokshadaha. Adokshadaha is Bhagavan. The beauty of Sanskritam is it touches Bhagavan with every sabdam. It doesn't talk about creation. No. Please, it talks about the creator all the time. All the sabdangal in Sanskritam are all only talking about divinity, touching divinity. Please understand, embracing divinity. So Adokshajaha is that Bhagavan, the Sakti, who is behind all my senses. My sense to hear, my ability to hear, my ability to read, my ability to think, imagine, understand, ability to understand. This power, this Sakti, this Bhagavan who is present, he is Adokshajaha. Adokshajaha. Please understand. Now there is another meaning for this beautiful sabdam. It is the Adokshajaha means something that doesn't decrease, or there is no kshinam. There is no decrease or decline, and that is permanent, always. So now, Adokshajasya bhaktaya anuraktaya means what? With my love and reverence and embracing the Bhagavan within me, I revere you as my teacher. I love you. I respect you as my teacher. Therefore, if you think I deserve to be told this beautiful nectarine story of Prithu Maharaja, who was the Purva, who was the previous avataram of Krishna. This Krishna is nothing but the Yajamanan, the master of the whole universe. If you think I deserve to be told that, please tell me. That is how he is asking. Reflect on this, my dear brothers and sisters. And then he says, Vainirupena imam gam aduhyam. He milked this Bhuma Devi in the form of a cow, this Prithu. I want to know the story. Karandar, Paul Karpadubol Karandar, Bhumi Devi Ai. Now you understand. When you approach it with that angle, what this Bhagavatam, Vasa Bhagavan is teaching us, a little bit of a glimpse, a glance that we can get. Okay, let's move on. I hope that's clear. Suta Uvacha, Suta the Pauranikar, is narrating this story to Saunaka. Remember, very first adhyayam of Bhagavatam. Okay? So, Suta Uvacha, Shoditaha Vidurai Nevam Vidurena evam Vasudeva katham prati prasasyatam pritamanaha Maitreyaha pratyabhashata. Choditaha Vidurenaivam Vasudeva katham prati prasasyatam pritamanaha Maitreyaha pratyabhashata. Chodito Vidurenaivam Vasudeva katham prati prasasyatam pritamanaha Maitreyaha pratyabhashata. Suta uvacha. Suta said. Now he is continuing. So, thus, having been requested, prayed to by Vidura, Maitreya, very happily, very pleased, he praised Vidura and then he replied to him. That is the overall meaning. Again, Vidura has made the prayer, Tundapatta, inspired, okay, by Vidura. Now the teacher, the speaker, Maitreya, he is very pleased. Imagine, this is very important. When the teacher is pleased, the beautiful things happen. So the students on the receiving end have a tremendous responsibility and duty to acquire knowledge. They have to please the teacher. Very important. Okay. So like that, you will see this several times in Bhagavatam. They come. So this time, Bhagavan gave me the thought to share this with you. Let's move on with Pratipada Artham. Yevam. Okay, let's just first construct the sentence for you so easily understand it. Maitreya pratyabhashata. Maitreya replied. Prati abhashata. Abhashata means the past tense, spoke. Prati abhashata, replied. Okay, understand? Prati abhashata, pratyabhashata, Maitreya pratyabhashata. Now, how did he speak? How did he reply? Maitreya, subject. Pritamanaha pratyabhashata. Pritamanaha, very pleased. Manam mahindavarai. Prita manaha, manaha, prita manaha. Okay, with the mind being very happy, very pleased. Pratyabhashata, he replied. Then when he replied, why did he become pleased? Evam, thus, Vasudeva katham prati. Thus, about the katha of Vasudeva, about Bhagavan, Vidurena Choditaha, Viduranal, by Vidura, Choditaha, being triggered, inspired, being prayed to. Okay? And by Vidurena Choditaha, being prayed to and triggered and inspired by Vidura, Maitreyaha, Pritamanaha, Pratyabhashata. One more. Before he spoke, before he replied very happily, Tam prasasya, tam, that Viduranai. Prasasya, he praised him. Same way Sukamuni will praise Parikshit several times because the teacher is very pleased when the student not only listens attentively but shows enthusiasm, interest, commitment, and asks the right questions. The questions that show the direction of progress. So he is very pleased. So tam prasasya, he praised him and pratyabhashata. That simple slokam, I hope now you understand. Let's move on to slokam number 9. Maitreya uvacha. This is what Sutta said. Maitreya replied. So let us see. Maitreya uvacha, Maitreya spoke. Here the meter changes, the chandas changes. So still I'll read it slowly for you. Yada abhishiktaha prutuhu anga Vipuraihi amantritaha janatayaha cha palaha prajaha niranne kshiti prishtha etya Kshukshama dehaha, very important. Kshukshama dehaha prati patim abhyavochanne. Patim abhyavochanne. Yada abhishiktaha prutuhu anga vipraihi amantritaha janatayaha cha palaha prajaha niranne kshiti prishtha etya Shukshama dehaha patim abhyavochanne. Maitreya uvacha yada vishikta pruturanga vipraihi amantrito janatayascha palaha praja niranne kshiti prishtha etya Shukshama dehaha patim abhyavochan. Now, Vidura, when Prithu Maharaja was coronated by the Brahmins, by the Rishigal, by the elders, and then was addressed as, remember, not only coronated, but also being addressed as the master, the protector, the leader of all the people. At that time, the earth had no crops, complete drought everywhere. Complete. Imagine, complete drought everywhere. So, because of that, the people, they were tremendously hungry. And because of that, they became very weak. Extremely weak. And then they spoke to the king. Understand? Remember, we saw earlier, because of the cruelty of Vena, all the adharmic activities that he did, Mother Earth, we are going to see this later. Okay, so let me not get ahead of me. It's going to be described in detail. And there was drought everywhere. There was no rain, no food. Okay, everything was dry. That is when Prithu Avataram took place. Because of that, the people who were living there, they were very weak because no food, hungry, decapitated. Imagine, like skeletons. Understand? So, the famine was there. What happened to Bharat 50, 60, 70 years ago, and also several times, okay, under the British rule. So the famine, people were suffering. So they came to the king. When did they do that? When Prithu was coronated and addressed by the ministers as the king, then the people approached him. Anga is addressing to Vidura. Yada, when Vipraihi, by the Brahmins, by the elders, by the scholars, Prutuhu, the Prithu Maharaja, or Prithu, Abhishiktaha, Abhishiktaha means being coronated by the Rishigal, the Vipraihi, the Vipras, and Yada Janatayaha Palahacha, Janatayaha, for all the people, Palahacha, also the protector. He was coronated and he was also addressed as the by Amantritaha, by the ministers. Okay, when he was addressed as the protector of the people, as the leader of the people, having been coronated, tada, at that time, Kshiti Prishthe, Kshiti Prishthe, Kshiti denotes Bhumi, Bhuma Devi. Kshiti Prishthe, now very important. Here, the Prishtha is generally denotes the backside. Okay, for you and me, for everybody. But what is the backside of Bhumi? Is inside the ground. Okay, so Chiti Prishthe, from the inside of the ground, Niranne Etya, Nir Anne Etya. Annam. Annam means food, the crops that come from the ground, right? So Niranye Yetya, there was no crops coming up. Nothing was sprouting from the inside of the earth. Literal translation. தமிழ்ல பூமியானது விளைவே இல்லாதது போது. When the ground was not producing any crops, any food, when the Bhuma Devi was not producing any crops at that time, because of that, Prajaha, the citizens, the people, should Kshama Dehaha, Dehaha, Udambu, Deham, body. What was the body? Kshama. Okay? Kshama. You see, very important. The Akshaya, we say Akshaya means, Kshaya means to decline. Akshaya means no decline. That is why Sanskrit Sabdangal are composed of Aksharangal. The word used is Aksharam, not letter. In English, we say letter. But it's called Aksharam. That means the Sabdam does not decline. Okay? Does not change also. This is very important. The Sabdam does not change. Another meaning. That is why you will see when somebody learns Sanskritam properly, okay, whether he be in Japan or Germany or Russia or India or United States or wherever he may be, whatever place of birth and language that he, mother tongue he may be, when they recite Rudram, for example, it will be perfect. The sound will not change. There's no accent in Sanskritam. There's only one Sabdam, whereas all the other languages have accents. It changes from place to place. Please remember, that's why it's called Aksharam. Kshaya means decline, change. Now, Kshama means declined. Declined body. By what? Chut. By hunger. Chut, Kshama, Dehaha. The bodies that have been incapacitated by hunger, famine, people looking like skeletons. Okay? So, Chut, Kshama, Dehaha, with those bodies like skeletons that have been devoid of food, Patim, Arasanidam, to the king, Abhya Vochan, they spoke to him. Okay, understood? Next slokam we will take. So they were very hungry, so they came to him. Now, the next slokam is very important. The beautiful comparison is given, a simile in Sanskritam. Okay, some Sanskritam given is, because I may not have time to complete the slokam, so I'm going to tell you what it says, and then we'll take up the slokam. See, when a piece of wood burns, we all have seen fire, right? Where does the fire come from? It comes from within the wood. And because of that, trees all burn, and the trees suffer when they burn. We don't see it that way because we're not sensitive to the feelings of the trees. The plants, they also have feelings, right? But they suffer. Like that suffering, the trees suffering from the Agni from within when it is firing, when it is burning, like that, we all have an Agni in our stomach. It is called Jataragni, okay, Jataragni. This is the one that digests our food. Okay, please remember, and converts it into what we call as nutrition. That Agni is there. Okay, so that Agni, be the same way a piece of wood that is burning, a tree that is burning from the Agni from within, like that, we are burning from the Jataragni from within. Because of that, we seek refuge in you. Why? Because you are the one place of refuge, the king who can protect us, who can get us food. So we surrender to you, we take refuge in you. Because we saw this earlier also, Vrittikaha, okay? because you have now taken the responsibility for our vritti, for our nourishment and growth, haven't you? Therefore, we take refuge in you. We are suffering. We are being burnt from within by the digestive fire. There's no food, so we are suffering. So we take refuge in you. Okay? That is the overall meaning of this slokam. And we will take up the slokam padam by padam next session, because our time is up. Let me read the slokam once. Vayam rajan jatarena abhitapta yata agnina kotarastena vrikshaha tvam adhya yataha sharanam sharanyam yah sadhito vrittikaraha patihi naha. Once more. Okay. Vayam rajan remember, pay attention to the sabdam. It is the second ta, coming from the stomach. Vayam rajan jataren abhitapta yata agnina kotarasthen vrikshaha tvam adhya yataha sharanam sharanyam yah sadhitaha vrittikaraha patihi naha. Vayam rajan jatarena abhitapta yata agnina kotarasthena vrikshaha tvam adhya yata charanam sharanyam yah sadhito vrittikara patirnaha. Okay. Maybe there is time to finish the meaning. We will see. Here, Rajan, O king, kotarastena agnina, that kotarastena, from within, okay, agnina, by the fire, vrikshaha yata, how the trees, they all suffer like that. Jatarena, within the digestive fire within me, vaitril ulla agniyal, that agni is called jataragni. Okay. Abhitaptaha, being burnt by that. Vayam, we. Sharanyam, the place of refuge, because you are qualified to take refuge from us. To you, tvam, tangalai, to you, adhya, now, sharanam yataha, we take refuge right now in you. Okay? Yaha, you, naha, to us, vrittikaha, for us, vrittikaha, to give us nourishment and growth, patihi, the leader, sadhitaha, being established. You've been established as our leader for our nourishment and growth. Therefore, we take refuge in you. You are the place we can come to. We are suffering from tremendous hunger. Tremendous hunger. There's no food. That's the overall meaning. Okay. Now let us see. Then they continue. That slokam will take up next session. And there is a very important dharma that is being taught in the next slokam between 11 and 12. Okay, which Bhagavan says with his grace we can cover that in our next session. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om.